All right, today we're going to talk about something that's, well, it's often kept in the dark, right? Something that comes with a lot of secrecy and shame, but we're going to come at this from a totally different angle. We're not just going to talk about managing a behavior. Instead, we're going to see it as a signpost, something that's pointing to a much deeper need inside of us.
So let's just start with a question that could honestly reframe this whole thing for you. What if the real struggle here isn't what you think it is? What if it's not primarily about lust, but about a desperate search for something else entirely? Seriously, getting this can change everything. So, the common view is that this is just a sin to manage, a problem of lust, plain and simple. But what if we're missing the real story? What if, when you get right down to it, it's actually a safety strategy, a pattern of escape? Think about it. A way of running from feelings that feel way too big, maybe even dangerous to handle. Now, let's be clear. This shift in perspective doesn't excuse anything, but it absolutely helps us get to the true source of the problem.
And that brings us to this really key idea, the false refuge. This is the hidden why behind it all. It's the reason we run to things that promise to make us feel better, but in the end, just leave us in more pain.
Okay, so what is a false refuge? Well, think of it like this. It's any behavior or substance that promises a super fast escape from uncomfortable feelings. It whispers, hey, I can give you relief, control, right now. But here's the thing, it's a total trap. It might work for a minute, but ultimately it just makes the fear, the isolation, and the shame even stronger than before.
So why is this trap so compelling, right? Why do we fall for it? To get that, we've got to look inside. We have to map out what's really going on in the heart. You see, this pattern is often driven by some really powerful things. We're talking about fear and anxiety, a deep need for comfort and relief, a desire for control and certainty when everything feels like it's spinning out. It's a longing for stability. And when those feelings hit, man, that pull towards a quick escape can feel almost impossible to resist. Okay, so let's break down how the heart actually responds in that moment of temptation. It all starts in the mind with a belief. And that belief is usually something like, I can't handle this feeling. I need relief now. Then that belief stirs up our affections, what we want. And what do we want? Comfort without the pain, control without the uncertainty. And from there, it's a short step to the will, to our choices. And the choice becomes to hide, to isolate, and to just numb whatever it is we're feeling. Now, this whole internal process, it doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It gets exploited. There's a predictable, repeating cycle of deception that the enemy uses to keep us completely stuck. And here's what that cycle looks like. First, there's a trigger. Maybe it's loneliness, stress, or just being tired. That trigger kicks off a spiral of anxious thoughts. I can't handle this. Then comes the secrecy, where we take that quick exit all by ourselves. And what follows? Shame. Crushing guilt and hopelessness that just feeds right back into the cycle, making us even more vulnerable the next time. This whole cycle, it runs on lies. And here's the first one. Relief equals safety. If you feel anxious, you're in danger. It's a lie that tells you that uncomfortable feeling is a threat, and you have to get rid of it immediately to be safe. Then there's the second lie, and this one is so sneaky. It says you need certainty before you can obey. If you don't feel ready, just wait. It paralyzes you. It makes you wait for this perfect feeling of readiness that, let's be honest, might never actually show up. And finally, the third lie, the one that isolates us with shame. After a fall, it whispers, you've already ruined it. God is disappointed and far away. It's designed to do one thing, keep you hidden, alone, and in the dark. But here's the thing, and this is the best part. Those lies, they don't get the final word. No way. Because the gospel gives us a true anchor, a real refuge, something solid to hold on to when the storm is raging. Listen to this from Ephesians chapter 2. But God, being rich in mercy because of the great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead in our trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace, you have been saved. Did you catch that? This isn't about us trying harder. It's about a God who is rich in mercy, who meets us right where we are, even when we feel totally dead in our sin, and makes us alive. Grace isn't something we earn. It's the very power that brings us back to life. And the contrast is just, wow, look at this. Everything the false refuge promises, Christ actually provides for real. The world offers temporary relief. Christ offers a lasting refuge.
The world gives you an illusion of control. Christ gives you true peace. The world wants you in secrecy and isolation. Christ invites you into fellowship in the light.
Okay, so this is all great, but how do we actually live this out? How do we build a new pattern and start walking in the light instead of hiding in the shadows?
Well, the first thing to remember is that grace isn't a free pass. It's the fuel that helps us obey God's good commands. And His commands are clear. Flee sexual immorality. Walk in the light. Don't hide. Make no provision for the flesh. Basically, don't set yourself up to fail. And put off that old self and put on the new. And this isn't just about gritting your teeth and trying harder. It's about using practical wisdom. So what does that look like? Maybe it's building a nighttime plan, creating some smart boundaries for your phone or your evening. It could mean identifying one safe person you can call or text when you're struggling. And it definitely means practicing a spiritual reset, intentionally turning to God's word and prayer instead of waiting for the feeling to strike.
Okay, I know this can feel like a lot to take in, so let's bring it all home with one simple but really powerful first step you can take, like today. I want you to really think about this for a second. What's the one lie that is the strongest for you in that moment of temptation? Is it the one that says relief equals safety? Or maybe it's you need to feel ready before you act? Or is it the crushing lie that says you've already ruined it? Just naming that lie, figuring out which one has its hooks in you, is the first step to ripping its power away and replacing it with God's truth. Because here's the bottom line, the thing I really want you to walk away with. You don't need certainty to obey. You need Christ. Freedom isn't about waiting until you feel strong enough or sure of yourself. It's about taking one small, faithful step at a time. It's about choosing to bring what's in the dark into the light and trusting Christ, especially when you don't feel ready at all.